Good afternoon. Greetings from Jerusalem, Jane. I want to give you a current news update with some of the things that has happened here since I last spoke to all of you. Earlier today, this morning, a young couple was out driving. Yossi Cohen, let me show you his photo. This is Yossi Cohen with his young son. Yossi has been fighting inside the Gaza Strip for a long period of time now. He's in the Israeli reserve. Of course, we have the regular army, all of those who are serving in the military right now. But when Israel went into the Gaza Strip in fighting against evil ISIS Hamas, they also called up 300,000 soldiers who is in the reserve. Of course, this means that there are hundreds and thousands of families here in Israel who is missing their father, their brother, their husbands, because they are currently fighting ISIS Hamas. So Yossi has been in the Gaza Strip fighting for several weeks, nearly 2 months, and he was actually given a 24-hour leave. So he goes home to his family in Samaria, and he borrows the car of his mother-in-law. So he goes in the front seat of the car. On the back seat is his young wife, 27 years old, with their young baby boy. So as they are driving out in Samaria, all of a sudden a car is blocking them and terrorists are firing into their vehicle, and they manage to wound the young mother who is sitting in the back seat with her young baby boy. The terrorists then get out of the car, start walking towards the car to plainly go up on a close range and execute this young mother and father and their 1-month-old baby in the back seat. Given the fact that Yossi is a soldier, he carries his gun, so he starts shooting from inside the vehicle towards these terrorists, which makes them turn around and run back into their car. And Yossi start driving as fast as he can until he reaches a town, and they are calling the Magen David, which is the ambulance service here in Israel, and they come out and they treat this young mother, and she is then being brought to the hospital. I want to show you another photo. This is one of the young paramedics, a female paramedics who arrive, and she is actually holding the baby of this young couple until the mother-in-law arrives and she's taking over the baby. So only because Yossi carried a weapon didn't these deplorable evil terrorists manage to execute this young couple. Of course, a call goes out to the army that there's been a terror attack, and they immediately is setting up roadblocks because these terrorists managed to escape, so they are setting up roadblocks. One of the soldiers who is part of one of the units who is setting up the roadblocks is actually one of the brothers of this young lady who was just shot. Another one of her brothers was injured on October 7 when Israel was brutally attacked by evil ISIS Hamas. He was injured, brought to the hospital, healed up, and he is now fighting inside the Gaza Strip. So I'm sending all my best wishes to this young mother who is now in the hospital getting treated. I'm telling you, they fired 10 shots into this vehicle. It's only by God's grace and miracle that this young mother, that Yossi, or their 1-month-old baby was not brutally executed by these terrorists today. In the car behind them, the couple in that car is now all of a sudden witnessing this terror attack. This couple, the husband, his nephew is currently held hostage inside the Gaza Strip. And this couple is on their way to Jerusalem to pay a condolences call to the family of one of the soldiers that was announced yesterday was murdered in the Gaza Strip. So all of a sudden they are finding themselves witnessing this terror attack. And that is what I have been trying to explain in all of my videos. There is not one family that is not affected. There is not one family who didn't lose a loved one, or know someone who lost a loved one, or has a hostage inside the Gaza Strip, or knows about someone who is a hostage inside the Gaza Strip. It just never stops because this is such a tiny, tiny nation. It's just unbelievable. So yesterday, there was another terror attack. I want to show you. His name is Mini. Look at this soldier. He was also in the reserve unit. He was also fighting inside the Gaza Strip. And he was also on a leave, going home to meet his wife and 7 children. And on the way, he's stopping at a gas station outside the same city where the terror attack took place today in Samaria. And I shared the video of this terror attack on my Telegram channel. I can't share it on Facebook. They are censoring me. But I shared it on my Telegram channel. So you see that this gentleman is standing paying for the things he bought in that gas station. And then you see a guy just wandering, walking behind him, just pacing back and forth. And then all of a sudden he comes up in the back and he just jam a knife down in the back, attacking this man. So immediately he feels the sharp pain in his back. He turns around and he sees the terrorist is running out. So he runs after him. I also shared that video on my Telegram channel. So he gets his gun and he managed to shoot and injure this terrorist. He still managed to escape. And then he escapes being injured, but then later he was captured, and he was a terrorist who is affiliated with Hamas. So these are 2 terror attacks in the same area in Samaria, yet one yesterday and one today. It is just unbelievable. I cannot tell you how many terror attacks I have been reporting about all of these years where I have lived in Israel. Well, another thing that happened was that the Israeli Defense Forces, I'm going to use some notes. The Israeli Defense Forces uncovered the largest ever Hamas attack tunnel discovered by the military in the northern Gaza Strip, very close to the Erez border crossing between Israel and Gaza. The tunnel is around 4 kilometers, 2.5 miles. It goes down 50 meters, 165 feet. We are talking about a tunnel that goes down 50 meters in the ground. It is wide enough for trucks and vehicles to drive into. And that is how, when Israel was attacked on October 7, all of these terrorists came out in their trucks. And then they came out and they were literally on the border, breaching the border and into Israel. One of the shafts that was found, this tunnel shaft, was only 400 meters, a quarter mile from Erez crossing. It's just unbelievable. The tunnel has several branches and junctions, along with plumbing, electricity, communication lines. And in some of these tunnels, the IDF found blast doors, which was intended to prevent the Israeli military from coming in. This is a massive, massive tunnel. And the IDF also posted videos. They found videos where you can see Hamas terrorists are building these tunnels. This was under the work of Mohammed Sinwar. He is the leader of Yinva Sinwar. I probably didn't say that right. who is the leader of Hamas and who is hiding as the coward as he is right now inside the Gaza Strip. So this is again what I've said before. This is what your mainstream media need to focus about and tell how Hamas have used hundreds of millions of dollars in building this tunnel network throughout the entire Gaza Strip. These tunnels and this big one is under houses, private houses, schools, mosques, UNRWA schools, kindergarten, playgrounds. All the money that was poured into the Gaza Strip, they have used to build this. There is a whole city. When you look and you see what happened above ground in Gaza, there's a whole city below where these tunnel rats of these evil Hamas ISIS terrorists, this is where they are living. And many people have been killed, including children over the years that have been forced to build these bunkers. So the Israeli military is finding more and more, hundreds and hundreds of these tunnels throughout the entire Gaza Strip. And like I said, the tunnel shafts is going up in schools, private houses, playgrounds, mosques, many mosques. Most mosques have tunnels beneath them that Hamas is using, also under the hospitals. So Hamas is everywhere inside the Gaza Strip. Hamas terrorists are also doctors. Hamas terrorists are also dentists. Hamas terrorists are everywhere in the Gaza Strip. And more than half of the population inside the Gaza Strip is 100% behind Hamas and their evil destruction or their goal of destruction, the Jewish homeland. So the Israeli military is doing everything they can to eradicate every single terrorist who has one goal, and the murder of the Jewish people. Unfortunately, again, this is a war that comes with a high price. Today alone, the Israeli military released the names of 5 soldiers who was killed inside the Gaza Strip within the last 24 hours. Yesterday, names came out of soldiers who was killed. So I'm sending my deepest heartfelt condolences to every single Israeli family who has lost a loved one fighting inside the Gaza Strip against evil ISIS Hamas, and also to the few who has been killed on the northern border, killed by Hezbollah. So things are still very tense here in Israel. We still need your prayers for such a time as this. Slowly, you know, they have started talks again about a new hostage deal. Right now, I think the number was at 125, 27 hostages is still held captive inside the Gaza Strip. But the truth is, we don't know. We don't know how many of those are still alive. It is heartbreaking for these families. And again, last night they were out, not demonstrating, but coming together in front of the Israeli military's headquarters in Tel Aviv and say, you got to bring our family members home. Lloyd Austin, the American defense secretary or defense minister from America, is here right now. He has already met with Israel's defense minister. He is currently meeting with the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, and then he's also going to meet with the Israeli War Cabinet later today, talking about the whole situation inside Gaza, what's happening, what plans to Israel has, the time frame, but especially also on the northern border with Hezbollah that is escalating all the time, and also with the Houthis in Yemen, who is continuing to fire at any ships around that area and also continue to fire towards Israel. For such a time as this, like I just said before, pray for Israel. There is so much heartache, grief, pain, and trauma in this country. So many families are affected. Families are being told every day, your beloved was killed in action. Like I just told you today, a young Jewish mother, 27 years old, were injured when terrorists was firing into their vehicle. Only by God's grace and miracle, didn't they get killed? So that was just the latest update from Jerusalem Jane. Please share it out, as so many people don't see my updates. So you can help me by sharing it out wherever you see it on any of my social media platforms. United, you and me are standing with Israel. Bye.